All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good today. It is Monday. We're here. Let me know if you can hear the music. You should be able to. What's up, Faye, Bao, and Rico? Yeah, get this rolling here. There we go. I gotta fix this banner on the bottom. Hold on. Yeah, so basically today today markets are reacting to the U.S. entering the Middle Eastern conflict. Oil prices have gone up. If we take a look at oil, the rest of the markets are mostly down this morning. Oil's at $75 a barrel. All right, so this should be pretty good. All right. There we go. You can see the NASDAQ at 21,813s here, 21,813s. What's up, Enrico, BT, Jimmy, MJ, Martin, Bao, Faye, DJ, Not. Let me drink some coffee. Keegan, Ava, Womble, Simple. What's up, guys? Ray. Yeah, I mean, obviously the big story today is the U.S. Traders are reacting to the U.S. conflict. I feel a little bit better, not 100% still, but better. Yeah, so we got some other stuff. I'm asking, man, AI is weird. Look at the NASDAQ. You know, the NASDAQ honestly went up a little bit today. The Sunday session, we had this big gap down, of course, from the conflict. NASDAQ kind of eased up a little bit after that and then ended up gapping up, you know, early this morning. It was at 21,943s. It's currently dipped all the way back down to 21.8s, but S&P Global PMI comes out for June this morning, expected at 51.1, services at 52.9, composite. They're expecting that at 53. We got existing home sales for May. They're projected to have dropped 1.3% month over month to 3.96% units, signaling softening in housing. Fed held rates steady. The updated dot plot still sees 2 rate cuts by the end of the year. See, though the odds of July easing have diminished. See, it's weird. I don't know whether to trust AI. AI said it was just 1, but it says Dow futures are currently up. Let me see. Yeah, so this must have been early. So SPY slightly red this morning, slightly red. Previous closing price on the SPY is 595 or 594.20s. We're at 593.50. So slightly red, slightly red. So the U.S. did some strikes, of course, over the weekend. Everybody understood this morning, probably. Equity futures briefly dipped overnight, but have rebounded, suggesting markets are unfazed for now. Oil prices surged to the conflict, though gains have retraced somewhat, and oil is still back down under $75 a barrel. Investors are leaning defensive, hedging positions around both geopolitical stuff and upcoming data. This week, we got more data coming out. A de-escalation between Iran and Israel or a diplomatic resolution could spark a relief rally. Conversely, any U.S. military escalation or expansion in those areas may prompt renewed volatility in equities and bonds and cause drops in markets mostly. I think we got Bowman speaking today. Let me make sure. If we take a look at bond yields as well. Let me know if you can hear the music. You should be able to hear it well. I got a new camera. I don't know if y'all could tell, but I got a new camera, and like now you can see my whole office. People kept saying this was a kitchen, and so now you can see my whole office kind of. It's like a widescreen camera apparently, but I got a new camera. Yeah, y'all can even see the cough drops I got on my desk. But yeah, go Tigers. Yes, sir. Anyways, let me figure out how I want to do this. I can do it like this if y'all want, but I think it's probably better just to zoom in like this. But yeah, looking at bond yields. Bond yields are back under 4.4%. Yeah, LSU won the Men's College World Series. I was worried about it too. Like at the very end, we were down, or we were up by 2, and in the ninth, bottom of the ninth, they got on base, and that was like the top of their lineup, I think. Luckily, the next batter hit a double play ball, and we got pretty quickly 2 outs, and that was game. But it was good. Yeah, but looking at bond yields, under 3.4% currently as we speak. Under 3.4%. I feel better. Like I don't know if I'm 100%, but I'm probably 95%, 90%. And whatever I had was nasty. Sinus related, terrible sore throat. I would sneeze and nothing would come out. Like it was so clogged I couldn't sneeze. Yeah, but this week we got flash services and manufacturing. We got existing home sales at 10. Tomorrow we got the Case-Shiller. We got Powell speaking. We got CB Consumer Confidence. Wednesday we got Powell speaking again. Thursday we got jobless claims, GDP, pending home sales, PCE data, and more. Friday we got PCE. Thursday we got GDP data. I'm trying to see what the expected GDP is. It's the final revision number for GDP. I'm curious what that's going to be coming out as. But yeah. But we got Fed members speaking all this week. We got Powell tomorrow and Wednesday. Today we have Bowman apparently speaking sometime today at 10 o'clock. Services PMI at 9:45. Manufacturing PMI at 9:45. And I want to see what GDP is expected at this week, though. I really am curious to see what that is. GDP is expected at a negative 0.2% for the finalized version of it. Or is there one more after this? All right, so look at this big dip, this big pullback. Yeah, so we got the final at, the third, we got the third estimate GDP on Thursday. They're expecting it to show up a negative for first quarter 2025 at minus 0.2% is what they're expecting. Now, this could change, but they are expecting minus 0.2% GDP quarter one 2025. So see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I feel better for sure, Yeah, I do feel better. Let's do a poll here. I haven't done a poll yet. Are we lagging? And maybe it's just my settings. Are we lagging? Are we clean here? Let me make sure. Better be. It looks clean on my end, I guess. No lag, seems fine. Okay, cool. Are we really going to get into the rate nonsense today? You're good on mine? Okay, cool. All right, just making sure. Yeah, because I like this one because I can stick myself up here. And we can just watch it like this. But yeah, yields under 4.3%. If we take a look at the CME watch tool in terms of July interest rates, which we're going to be watching until then. All right, we take a look at this here. 83.5% chance as of now. I'm going to refresh this just to make sure we got the most recent data. Yeah, 83.5% chance of a pause. We still got over 16% chance of a cut next month. So we could cut next month if we get, I think this week's a really important week for this though. Because, oh dude, I wanted to buy this. I'm going to start to add to this now. But I wanted to buy this dip. We just dipped so much this morning. I mean, it's a challenge account, so it doesn't mean too much, but I'd love to buy this dip. Ride this up some. I might add some to this. This is a challenge account, so it doesn't matter too much if we lose on it. Is snap in a good buy zone? Yeah, so again, we are looking at rate cut odds here, chat, of about 14 or about 16.5% for July. In September, it's still up to almost 60% here. So in September, it's up to almost 60%. For a 25 basis point cut. If we add both 25 and 50 basis point cuts, it's at about 68%, almost 70% likelihood of a cut by September now. So all right, so we got some green in this trade, but it keeps retracing back down some here. I'm trying to be patient with this, but Broadcom. I think I'm going to add to this on a pullback here. All right, so we got 15 contracts here. We'll take 20, 25. We're just going to swing forward on this one to give you guys something to do this early. 30, 35. And we'll probably leave it at that. See if we need to add some more to it here. All right, we're flat. The market's been pretty volatile, but it honestly kind of reacted like it was nothing to this earlier. So here we go. We're nicely green in this. I got to add more. It didn't really give me a good feel. I got to use limits here, I think. I mean, we're green on this one now, but not as green as we could be. I'm watching oil come back down here and the market come back up. So oil's still over 74, but under 75. So it didn't really react too much to this at all. I mean, it gapped up and had some early volatility right at open, but nothing like major, like crazy or anything like that. I'm trying to ride a bounce here. I gotta exit out of this and reset. I don't really see any news for today that's come out this morning. Not really anything. Like I see deep into yesterday is all the big news. The president Reuters poll, 21 out of 26 analysts expects Banks of Co to cut the key rate by 50 to 8%. 3 expect a 25 basis point cut. 2 expect a hold. All right, so the Fed's daily also spoke. He said things are balanced, is what he says. So far, economy is a good place, and as is policy. Concerns about tariffs on inflation aren't as large as they were when first announced. Great news that inflation has continued to come down without tariffs. Would be considerate rate normalization. Have to continue to watch policies going forward. Many possibilities of how much tariff passed through to consumers, end quote. Not saying I agree or disagree with anything he says, just kind of watching what he says here. All right, I'm going to take some off here. There we go. I'm going to cut that right there. So we got the nice little rebound. We're up about a couple hundred on the day on this one now, which is good. But it's very strange that I don't see any breaking news this morning. It's very odd. Maybe things are just quiet. Let me check other places. All right, so a muted oil reaction suggests Hormuz blockade is unlikely. Oil prices rose only slightly after the U.S. Strikes, reflecting market belief that a Strait of Hormuz blockade is unlikely. Brent and WTI crude rose about 1%, so pretty muted relative to what a lot of people thought would happen, with analysts calling the limited reaction surprising. Despite Iran's threats, experts say Tehran is unlikely to block the strait due to its heavy reliance on oil exports to China. Goldman Sachs and others highlight strong U.S. and China incentives to avoid major disruptions. Apple is also expected to offer EU concessions in App Store talks, according to Financial Times. So we got that going on. Where's gold at this morning? That's what I'm curious. Oil's only at about $74 a barrel, $75 a barrel. Gold, on the other hand, is lower than it was last week. Interesting. Still down a lot, from last week. Obviously, gold ended up decreasing a lot. It's currently at $33.92 an ounce. So still down pretty significantly here. Okay, so that means either something's wrong with this. Friday. One of my main sources is down. Like nothing's coming out on it this morning. But yeah, look at oil. I mean, we're still going to get other sources, but where's Bitcoin this morning? Circle still at 250s. And Bitcoin at 104s. Got as low as 99 when markets opened on Sunday. Yeah, oil's at 74.5. Hey, thank you, James. What's up, Liberty? What's up, Lee? R. Max. Tobias. Rojas. Beach Bum. What's up, dude? Enrico. Well, yeah, usually I get like breaking updates from a lot of different sources. For whatever reason, like some of the ones I'm using are pretty slow. Which is very strange. Like most of the time. Like New Squawk is usually pretty good, but there's a lot of rumors going out about the Middle Eastern conflict as well. Look at this dip right here in markets. Yeah, I feel better. I mean, I've slowly gotten better. I mean, I'd hope I'd be better by today, man. Yeah, this is 3 days later. I was mostly better by Friday, but it's still not 100%. So super hot here on the East Coast, making it hard to be on the roof. Hey, stay safe, bro. Tariff inflation was front run, that I get, but it just seems like tariffs aren't a thing. All of a sudden, there's something is lurking. Yeah, we got the robotaxi release today, right? Let's see what the updates come regarding that. Yeah, I mean, I feel fine now, man. Like, whatever I had was nasty, though. I was worried it was like the C word, though, because they say the new variant has like, I don't know for sure, of course, but they say the new one has like terrible, like throat ache, like sore throat, stuffy nose, no, like little to no fever, like all this different stuff. And that's exactly what I had. I had no fever, terrible body aches, terrible sore throat, sneezing, stuffy nose. Like it was almost like exactly what they said it was. And then it also doesn't show up on tests sometimes too. And so I was worried that's what I had. I'm still kind of worried that's what I got, but I feel better today, It wasn't like, it was just uncomfortable for a few days, Yeah, I don't want to say that. I gotta censor it a little bit. Tariffs. Yeah, this week will be interesting. If you want to know where we're at in terms of rates, right? This week is going to be an interesting week. Why is this week an interesting week? Because we got PCE inflation data, which is the Fed's preferred inflation metric, Friday. So Friday, we have PCE inflation data. It's expected on Friday, year over year, 2.3%. Core is expected at 0.1. Year over year core on Friday is expected at 2.6%. 2.6% for PCE inflation data. So that's a big report, an incredibly important report. And it's a report you want to pay attention to. We're going to stream it live as we always do, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then on Friday, we got Michigan consumer sentiment data, inflation expectations releasing as well for the second time this month. And we'll see how that goes as well. So I'm kind of tempted to buy this, although the trend certainly looks negative right now. So I think I'm just going to wait, actually. But yeah. Yeah, well, I feel fine now. I'm over it. Is there any chance of oil prices surging to over 80 a barrel? I mean, there's always a chance that happens. I would say it's probably not going to happen right now, based off of what we've had so far. But a situation in which it could happen is if we get more stuff coming out from overseas. All right, so the Iranian government reported recently that reports confirm no radioactive contamination as a result of recent attacks. So that's good, I guess. Yeah, and I think I'm going to move to this setup that you guys see right now. It's cleaner. It's easier for me to manage. The camera settings are better. And yeah. Like a cool thing I can do if I really need to is like if I really want to show you guys something going on. Like if you want to look at oil for a second here, like I can do this right here. Like check it out. If I really want to show you guys oil, right? Like look, you can see oil on the bottom screen here, right here to your right. You can see gold, but we can put up oil, which is what we're looking at, and we can make it large here. All right, look at the NASDAQ though, and then we can also pivot back to the other stuff too. So like I could also go like this if I want to just show you the window here. You know, wait, that's not the right window. Hold on. This is the right window. Yeah, check it out. So look at the NASDAQ breakdown here. So NASDAQ just cracked lows. I was worried about buying it too because the downtrend looks so negative here. But I could share individual tabs and then I can go back to sharing everything, which I really like, honestly. It's just a lot easier to manage here. And again, this is a combine account. We're not really trading our funded accounts yet this morning. A little too early. Yeah, I did see the U.S. Embassy announcement to shelter in place. I did see that in Qatar. All right, so now we're down to still a pretty significant amount here. I don't know if I want to buy this dip. I kind of do. All right, we'll try. We're already up a couple hundred on the day here, so we can be a little bit more risk averse, or a little bit less risk, or a little bit more risky, a little bit more risk tolerant, I should say. Let's see how this goes. Just kind of buying the dip. I think we got a decent enough extension on the downside, so we could play with this here and see if we get a rebound back up, and we'll keep it small. There we go. There we go. That's nice. Oh. All right, we took some off there. All right, so we're up a couple hundred still. And look, now we'll pivot back to just both screens here. Yeah, we can take a look at the VIX. Yeah, take a look at the VIX here. VIX is at 2170. So the VIX honestly spiking up. Not a shock. Markets were mostly closed yesterday. So if we take a look at the VIX here, see, it only lets me share it. Like, it's weird. It's easier for me to just go like this. If we take a look at the VIX here, the VIX is up this morning. Not a shock. You can kind of see it. It's up to basically 2177 this morning on the VIX. Not a shock that it's over 20. I mean, we got Middle Eastern uncertainty, conflicts, strikes going on over the weekend. And so naturally the VIX is going to rise a little bit. It's not up that much. It's up from about 20 to about 2170s. And so it's not like a crazy amount up because, you know, we had already known that this is a probable thing. You know, I was telling Carol about this because I have a little bit more of an insight into kind of like what happened. The president did give a little bit of warning for this. So he did give a ultimatum last week saying, hey, this is what needs to happen or this is going to happen. And so there was warning that he was going to do this. Not saying I agree or disagree with it, to be honest. I'm not going to go into any of that. But there was some warning for this, to be honest. And so, you know, I think markets had already kind of priced it in a little bit. And, you know, again, things are still up. There's the VIX. It's elevated this morning. Oil is up a little bit from where it was, which on Sunday session, which was pretty, or on a Friday session, which was quad witching day and a lot of stuff, kind of muted quad witching day. But oil originally gapped up to $75 a barrel. And they're over $78 a barrel and then kind of settled back down. It's just under $75 a barrel now. And so, you know, there's oil. Gold, of course, has been getting basically pushed down as the market rebounded last week some. But oil is a little elevated, not a huge amount elevated, but slightly. It's up a little bit. It's not up a crazy amount here, but it's up a little bit. And so oil's elevated, not a crazy amount up though. You know, it's still down. Like you can kind of see we're down from, you know, the beginning of last week. Oil has been decreasing. It was pretty close to all-time highs here. So this was actually very close to all-time highs. You know, all-time highs of gold right now, I think, are about 35.10 or something like that. It's like 35.10 roughly. And so we were at 34.70s way back here. But since then, as we had stability, they kind of settled down. And yeah, we're going to keep watching oil, but yeah. SPY at 590s, you know, it was testing 600s last week. It's now down a little bit as well. People are talking about HIMS. We can take a look at it. Yeah, HIMS gapping down substantially here. I wonder if I could buy the dip, depending on how bad this news is. All right, so Novo Nordisk reportedly terminated its collaboration with the company. Novo Nordisk terminated its collaboration with the company, and now they are down substantially on this news. Yeah, we're going to report this news on our X page. The big arrow down. Yeah. NASDAQ is rebounding back up, though, so we are seeing some bounce backs here. I thought oil would spike more than it did, to be fair. But you know, I mean, oil spike like it, I don't know if you can call it a spike. It depends on what you call whatever. But here's oil. If we take a look at a 5-minute chart, oil originally reacted like this. So oil originally popped up a couple bucks. Like if you take a look at it, this is where oil opened up yesterday on Sunday. Because remember, like markets opened up for today yesterday at 6 o'clock Eastern. And so oil opened up here, eventually spiked up to almost 78.50, which is a pretty big move up. I mean, that's a pretty strong move up. I mean, it's not what some other people expected, but it's like a $5 move up relative to where they were. It didn't hold though. It ended up coming right back down, and now we're here. So that's where we're at regarding oil right now. But it did go up some. It just didn't hold for oil. So it went up a little bit. It just didn't hold its gains up there. All right, so look at this big rebound back up here. I'm looking at the SPY. It's at 494s. Let me pull Disco up. Pawn. Sorry, brother. All right, so Tesla's robotaxi launches today. Yesterday, they rolled out its first robotaxi in U.S. Tesla went up a little bit, but again, there's not a lot out this morning. So it's a little slow. Yeah, HIM's dropping big. Novo Nordisk terminated their deal with them. No, we don't have PPI. We have like manufacturing and services PMI at 945 today. Is it time to buy HIMs? Is what I'm wondering. All right, so we're up to 21,825 on the NASDAQ here. SPY starting to rebound back at 594s. I'm looking at gold. Gold's popping back up a little bit. Yeah, so Novo Nordisk ends weight loss drug sale collaboration with Hims or Hers, according to Reuters. Does that mean Novo's going to get into this themselves is what I'm curious about. Yeah, the whole market's basically waiting for the response from Iran. Let me do a poll here. With the uncertainty will the NASDAQ close red or green this week? Red, green, flat. I don't know. See results. All right, so that's going to be our poll this morning. Will the NASDAQ close red or green this week? Vote. Let me know how you feel. Pretty big rebound back up. There's the poll. The poll is now live. Wait, where'd my music go? There it is. By the way, you need to update your info next to watching now. What info from watching now? You mean at the bottom? Yeah, the bottom's true. Let me check. Okay. What's up, Beach? Hey, thank you, brother. Y'all check out Beach Bum's channel. Good swing trading content. Yeah, but I mean, if you're talking about the bottom here, what it says is this week is set to be absolutely huge as we had the massive FOMC rate decision Wednesday, meaning last Wednesday, plus inflation data ticks in. We have PCE inflation data this week, tariff battles, and more. So it's actually pretty accurate to what's going on this week. Yeah, I'm trying to think whether I should buy HIMS right now, to be honest. HIMS is down pretty big. It's one of the big stories of the day. What's up, Sam? Good morning. 1/5 of the world's oil travels. Yeah, for sure. But currently it's not blocked, so we'll see what happens there. The NASDAQ, honestly, rebounding back up pretty big. We'll see if that holds. I think somehow I ended green last week, but it wasn't very green. Yeah, the HIMS news is big. HIMS is honestly a great idea. I talked about this when the HIMS came out. HIMS's business model is that they ship things to men that they don't want to buy at the store, prescriptions to men that they don't want to buy at the store. These include like ED prescriptions, like male pattern balding prescriptions, weight loss prescriptions, and more, right? So essentially they solved a problem, which is the nature of all business, solving problems. And if you could find something that solves a problem, you might have a business for it. And so what they do is they ship these products to men because men don't want to go buy this stuff in store. Men don't want to go buy Propecia or Minoxidil in a store. Makes them look weird, you know? They definitely don't want to buy ED stuff at the store. Again, makes them look weird. They don't want to go pick up all these other embarrassing prescriptions They want to just have them shipped to their doorstep very easily, conveniently. And they can also see the doctor on their applications and on their platform. And so it solves a problem, basically. And that's what HIMS is. It solves a problem. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of other companies start to copy HIMS' business model. But HIMS was basically one of the first big ones to do it. So that is HIMS' business model, is they ship all these. Now it's hims and hers, so they do it with women as well, apparently now. So smart, you capture the other side of that as well. I'm sure they have stuff that they don't want to pick up in stores, so good for everybody. I'm not sure if that's happened yet. I think it still remains open, Sam. But we'll see. Looking at our poll numbers here, we did a poll this morning. Our poll currently says 40% of people think the market's going to be red this week. 36% think green. 14% think flat. 10% think I don't know. So we'll see what happens there. NASDAQ is rebounding back up. HIMS is at 54s. U.S. home price growth is slowing because there are significant more sellers than buyers on according to Redfin. They said home sales were canceled at highest May rate on record. And Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, also bought 245 more Bitcoin worth $26 million. Redfin also reported that home prices are growing at the slowest pace in nearly 2 years. We had Mexico retail sales come out, I think. They showed up at minus 2%, expected minus 4%, or expected minus 0.4%, so weaker than expected there as well. Yeah, so we're at 21,838. We're at 5.35s on HIMS. SPY's starting to come back a little bit, though. SPY's almost green on the day. So she had a little bit of everything, but let me see if we have any 830 data. I don't think we do. Let me make sure. No, most of the data is at 9:45 today. Flash services manufacturing. Tomorrow we got Powell speaking for the semi-annual monetary policy report. I'm glad. I was wondering when this was going to be. So next week we got Chicago PMI. We got JOLTS job openings and ISM manufacturing. We got ADP non-farm employment, jobless claims, and more. All right, Japan's prime minister says, I am going to boost Japan's GDP to 1,000 trillion yen in 2040 from the current 400 trillion yen. Yeah, so again, MicroStrategy has acquired 245 Bitcoin for $26 million at $105,856 per coin, and has achieved a Bitcoin yield of 19.2% year to date in 2025. As of June 26, we hold 592,345 Bitcoin acquired for about $42 billion at about 70,000 per coin on average. So that's going on. You know, we're looking at HIMS. We have this dip in the NASDAQ here. I'm kind of tempted to buy the dip. We'll try to squeeze in here and like scale into some position. There's 4. There's 5. We got a decent cushion on the day. I just want to see if we retrace back up. But we're basically flat right now. I just want to see if we pop back up a little bit higher. Nice. We'll hold the rest pretty close to break even if we get it. Hopefully not. Hopefully it just continues to push higher. There we go. All right, so yeah, we're up really nicely, getting closer to 300 on the day. Look at the SPY hit the VWAP right here and just reject down to 593s though. Why wouldn't they transport through the Red Sea? Yeah, I get it. Fed rate cuts in July, bull day. I don't think we got rate cuts in July. I mean, we got like a 16% chance. What is it? We looked at this earlier. But we have, as of now, if we take a look at this, about a 16.5% chance of a cut in July. So it's still a very, very much not the most probable thing as of now. Now, this week could change. If we get weaker GDP data and lower inflation data than expected, that's a situation in which it might increase the odds of a rate cut. But I don't know, man. I don't think that's going to happen. You know, maybe. I think it's looking like September now or later, but you never know. It could be next month. We'll see. John is a broken country. Very interesting comment. I'm not sure what that means. I do not think I'm a broken country. Whatever that means. But cheers to you, man. Thanks so much. I'm going to take that as a compliment, I think. Yeah, Hims News is Novo Nordisk is ending their collaboration or partnership with Hims. Yeah, I would say I'm the top 3 country in the world, you know. Look, John is a broken country. Cheers to this guy. What a great comment. Yeah, they have an economic incentive to keep it open, Sam, because of oil to China specifically. Bro, so my wife and I, we've been watching 90 Day Fiancé, and we've also been watching the other newer one where it's like before the 90 days or whatever it is. And every time I see a couple, I'm like, she's scamming him, he's scamming her, you know. I was like, they'll never make it. She's just using him or whatever it is. And then I end up looking it up, and it's like they've been married for 15 years now. And I'm sitting there like, how? They've got 20 kids, and they're married for 15 years. And I'm just like, man, those relationships are working. Shockingly, to my surprise, dude, honestly. My wife's got me watching this show, but I'm kind of into it. Anyways, NASDAQ starting to bounce. I should have held this long position here. Yeah, for sure, Sam. We'll see, dude. It's true love? Yeah, maybe. My issue with it is that most of the time they don't speak the same language. And so they don't even know what the other one's saying. And they're like, oh, I love him. And it's like, do you really? You know? I don't think so. I think y'all are just... Most of the time there's something, no offense, there's something deficient with some of the guys that are going to do this, right? Like there's just something off about the guys doing this. They seem a little socially flawed, I guess is the easiest way to put it. Something's wrong with half these guys. Like they're weird, you know. I was reading a bunch of the Hormuz closure. They can effectively close it out of fear without officially closing it due to insurance rates on tankers. There's also, yeah, for sure. All right, so NASDAQ still coming back here. Where's 22,000? So 22,000 way up here. I got to draw some levels on this. I don't think I have yet. So we're going to look at 22K, of course. That's probably the biggest level close to us. We also have this recent isolated high up here at about 21,950. We got to look at like some lows here, 775 right here. Very clean low, and it's also the high of up there. And we also have some other levels here. Let's see, we got 900. 875, 850 right here, maybe. Yeah, 850 looks like one. See if this 850 level turns it down. And then maybe we got like, I would say maybe like 900 right here. Yeah. All right, so those are the levels I'm looking at right now. Let's see if we can get over this 850 level that we got on the charts. A little off. The 850 is actually right about there. I have no patience for those shows. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't either. Honestly. Yeah, I'm trying to look up other breaking news. All right, so Japan's prime minister says, I will, quote, I will work towards win-win trade deal in the U.S. talks. He says, we can't take irresponsible steps such as cutting the consumption tax without securing stable funding. I will seek a society with real wage growth of 1% or more. I'm going to boost Japan's GDP. Yeah, we already talked about that. Okay, so there's some more news on HIMS here. So apparently they're saying that Novo Nordisk terminated the collaboration with HIMS due to concerns about their illegal mass compounding and deceptive marketing. I'm assuming the deception they're talking about is they're pretending like minoxidil and Propecia are somehow some never known about balding, you know, fix, right? Like, I hate to break it to you, but Propecia does not grow your hair back really in an extensive way, right? It'll stop hair from falling out, but it takes a year to kick in, you know, and they've got some other bad stuff that comes with Propecia, which is what they give you on HIMS for balding. Minoxidil is just Rogaine, right? So they're basically saying, hey, take Rogaine and then take this. It's not a bad idea necessarily, because one causes hair to grow back. Rogaine does cause hair to grow back, and the other stops hair from falling out. But the problem is that your body builds up an immunity to Rogaine, right? So like eventually you're going to build up a tolerance to it, and it's not going to work as well, you know? And so it's basically like a temporary fix, you know? So, and I think the way HIMS is marketing it is like it's some miracle cure, and that's not true at all, right? And I think that's probably what Novo Nordisk is referencing here, saying it's due to concerns about compounding and deceptive marketing. That's probably the deceptive marketing they're talking about, is they're acting like it's a cure and it's not. Maybe, I don't know for sure, but that's kind of what I'm looking at here, and I think that makes the most sense. And with that said, look at HIMS come back down. So HIMS is all the way down to 51s. Almost down to $50 a share. It hit 49. It hit 49s earlier. Yeah, and I think finasteride, which is what Propecia is also, and again, I'm not a health professional. I'm going to put this out there. Not liable if you lose money. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional. I can't guarantee anything. Understand CFTC 4.41. Some of the links I post here are affiliate or sponsor links. Not an investment professional. All right. With that said and out the way, though, finasteride has like implications. It shrinks your prostate and does all kind of other stuff. So again, I'm not a medical professional, but some of those things scare me, right? And so I guess you got to ask what's more important. For me personally, I'd just get a hair transplant if I was that worried about it, you know. Now, again, I'm, you know. Yeah. But it's still, with all that said, though, it might be a buy the dip scenario. I mean, I still think Hims is a good company. But you never know. You never know. But Hims is down pretty significantly from this report, down to 60, from 64s all the way down to 50, 51s, 52s right now. So it's down significantly here. Probably. StarCraft. He probably did. I can't even judge somebody for it. I mean, look, if I started, you know, if it happened to me, I'd probably, you know, try something originally. I might just let it go and just say bald is beautiful and just cut it, though. I don't know what I would do. Luckily, I got my dad's hair, and so I still got a full head of hair. And so I'm not really worried about it. My hairline's pretty good, too, somehow. They say it comes from your mother's father, and my mom's dad was bald at like 25. So it's definitely not a perfect science. I have my dad's hair, same color, same texture. And my dad's 70s still has hair. So yeah, Bitcoin is bouncing back a little bit today, but it opened up pretty weak yesterday. So Bitcoin gapped up pretty deeply low here. Gapped down, I mean, pretty deeply low. It opened up at 99,000 for Bitcoin futures yesterday. Back up to 101s today, but still down pretty significantly. It's testing 100,000 right now. So U.S. stock market opens up in an hour, really, about an hour and 9 minutes or so, 8 minutes. Yeah, I don't have any grays yet, and I also have most of my hair still. Michael Saylor bought $26 billion worth of Bitcoin. Yeah, very interesting market right now. I mean, we are all the way down to 101, 280s. Yeah, we got 7 minutes left, 7 minutes left. We're still at 21,840s, 21,840s. Yeah, it's weird. I'm gonna pivot to just look at futures for a second here, guys, and then I'm gonna restart my toss. So look at futures. We are running right into this. We talked about 850 being a level, and we ran right into that. So we talked about 850 being a level. We literally smacked 850s and came back down here. We'll see if it continues, but these levels seem to be holding pretty well. We're watching this level for sure. We're watching 850s here, but we start to look like we're rebounding back up when we zoom out a little bit here. We had a big range this morning. Like we gapped up pretty big, which is not unexpected, or not gapping up pretty big, but we had a little run early this morning at about 3 a.m. We went all the way back up to almost 22,000. We got up to 950. So we got back up to 950, but we didn't hold up there, and we've basically been pulling back since then, although we did bounce right around 780, 775s. But we just didn't hold up there. And so the big question is, do we retest some of the top up there, or do we come back down? And I don't know, chat. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do we retest this top up here before the market opens? I don't think it's before the market opens, but it could be, I guess. We are starting to rebound. We still got over an hour until market opens. Yeah, I don't know if News Squawk on toss just isn't working this morning or what, but yeah, yesterday was a little interesting. I mean, I was trying to watch the LSU game yesterday because here, and we'll pivot back to the other one. I was trying to watch the LSU yesterday because LSU played in the Men's College World Series. But this stuff kind of overshadowed it a little bit. But LSU won. Go Tigers. So shout out to LSU. We do have some stuff coming out today, but it's still kind of slow. And we got breaking news coming out regarding Japan's prime minister. He said, I think the U.S. trade deal comes down to the president's decision. We must not sacrifice national interest for a fast deal. This is some stuff he's saying. He said, our main point in upper house election campaign is how to make our economy strong. So he said, we're working on tariff talk with the U.S. very meticulously at the ministerial level, according to Japan's prime minister. All right, so we're retesting 850s here. I don't ever like attacking retests here, but I am looking to see if we get over this 850 level and hold. Again, taking a look at oil, which originally went up to 78 a barrel. It's now down under 74s as we speak here, and the NASDAQ is pushing back up some. So we had some like volatile opening yesterday and today, but we've kind of settled back down a lot. It hasn't been as crazy as a lot of people expected, especially with oil. Oil didn't really get up to anything major. It's still looking like we got a 15% chance of a rate cut next month, 85% chance of a pause next month. So we'll see. Yeah, looking at our poll number, 42% think red, 37% think green, 12% think flat, 9% said I don't know. Yeah, well, like Coastal Carolina was asked if they respected or liked anything about LSU, and then they basically said nothing that we can think of, kind of being disrespectful. And then they basically didn't win a game against us. So good, they deserved it. I'm not gonna say they deserved it, but they deserved it for sure. You know, I feel for the kid crying though when they lost. One thing you can't talk smack about is LSU baseball. You know, like football, we do pretty good in football too, but you can't talk about LSU baseball because LSU baseball is just good. All right, so we're rejecting 850 again here. Look at oil come down too. So oil dipping down. SPY at 594 still, so it's holding. Where's Nvidia at this morning? I'm guessing Nvidia's down to what, 30s maybe? I don't know. It might not be down that much actually. It might be low 40s. Yeah, still at low 40s. 142.40 for Nvidia here. Apple, guessing it's under 200s here. Oh, it's over 200s. It's at 201.20s. Apple's actually up a significant amount. Now we're just kind of sideways here. I don't know what I want to do. I could short this. We got a double top up here, but I think I'm just going to wait. I don't hate a short though. Let me switch this to our other. We got a couple of these here. The question is, do we get choppiness today? I think it's possible. I think it's very possible. I think there's a lot of uncertainty right now in markets. I'm just glad I feel better today, man, because last week I didn't feel good. I needed that day off on Thursday last week too, so. All right, so here's retest of this level. Here's test 2. Or test 3, I mean, of 50. I don't know. I don't really like playing retest though. So like if it tests once and then comes back down and then gets all the way back up there and retests it the second time, I don't usually mess with it. Right, here's 50 again though. Oil's still breaking down. I gotta watch Nvidia too here, but yeah, there's a spike up. Big spike. Let's see if it holds now though. Came all the way back down, rejected originally, and then ripped right back up. Starting to push. I'm watching Apple up here too. I'm watching Nvidia as well. Nvidia's starting to come back up. Doesn't look terrible. See that holds up here. All right, so it's getting up here. See if it holds support at 850 now. I got over it. I'm looking at other breaking news. Let me see if I can find any. He said we're in the toughest security environment in post-war period for Japan's prime minister. Nvidia is starting to come back up here. Look at Nvidia. It's up to 142.60 right now. So Nvidia is what's helping this. Apple is too. Apple up to 201.50 almost. So those are the two things driving this higher. We did break over a double top here. Where's Tesla at today? Today is the Robotaxi event for Tesla. Not event. It's not really an event, but it's the Robotaxi day. It's up a little bit, though. Had some volatility early this morning when it opened up, but we got a little bit of gains here for it. Yeah, I feel much better today. I needed this today, too. Like, I just didn't feel good most of the morning. Most of the mornings last week. Question I have is this level going to hold here? We got like another little double, triple top. I'm also looking at, there's some more levels over here. There's one right here. They said they closed the straight, but they haven't officially closed it. Is what I'm pretty sure the news has been so far. Robotaxi was yesterday, was it? Yeah, I might be a little late, but I mean, you can see Tesla up a little bit from this. Yeah, so we pushed up a decent amount. Let's see if Nvidia continues. Yeah, HIMS, the Novo Nordisk has been pushing HIMS down most of this morning. All right, look at Tesla rip. So Tesla's dragging the market higher this morning. This is Tesla pushing higher. Look at Tesla. If I put a 1 minute chart up, you can see kind of Tesla rip. So a lot of stuff starting to come back this morning here. And again, I do think if we didn't have this Iran news that happened, we might be testing all-time highs right now. We're getting pretty close anyway, but Right, so we got this big push up here. Let's see if we hold down there. The market should care more than it does. Well, I think people already kind of understood this was close to happening. Yeah, oil prices did stabilize. I think there's going to be some competition, but we'll see. You never know. Yeah, I think that's scary, Sam, for sure. It's not markets should care more. It's the fact that they don't care told us all that we needed to know last night. Yeah. We're in an interesting place for sure, you know. All right, so we had this little level here that we drew. This recent support and resistance area right here. Let's see if it continues to hold on the NQ. NVIDIA's been pushing up. Tesla's been pushing up. So we do have some spots here. But market's been rebounding basically for the last hour almost. So and the news is still light for me here. Bears, I don't know. We've been pushing up for the last hour. Yeah, well, Powell also does his semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress tomorrow. So it's a big thing you probably want to watch for and listen to and see what happens. I'm going to be paying attention to it for sure. And we're going to be streaming it live here on this channel. Today, we also have manufacturing and services PMI data at 9:45. Not the biggest release, but it's still something you probably should tune into. All right, so the White House said the president will go to NATO meetings tomorrow, push members for more defense spending. He said NATO allies have to reach 5% defense spending target. All right, so we're ripping up some more here. All right, so NVIDIA is stabilizing down a little bit, pulling back some, although Tesla's still pushing up. Apple's still been mostly pushing up. Bond yield steady decreasing this morning as well, if we take a look at them. So showing you bond yields here. Here's the 10-year Treasury yield. These have an interesting correlation with interest rates. But you can kind of see, we looked at them earlier this morning. They were at 4.39%. They're currently at 4.34%. So they have been decreasing, showing potentially people expecting a weaker economy. Which means higher interest rate sentiment. So, or lower interest rate sentiment, a greater cut sentiment is what I meant to say, by the way. So we'll see. Yeah, he's talking Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, so we're now testing this bottom area. We got 64s. So we bounced right off of this level. I think it's watery literally come in. What's up, Tiny? Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I got some sleep this weekend, which is what I needed. All right, so Press Secretary Hassett says Waller and the president are right about interest rates. I think we're at a really subjective spot for them, though, to be honest. Like, I think it's very subjective, the interest rate argument here. We've talked about this a lot, but it's very subjective. Whether you think we need to cut rates now is very subjective. If you think inflation's still a risk, you might want to wait. If you think inflation is not a risk right now, you might push for cuts. And it just depends on who you are and what you want in any given economy. I'm okay with us waiting, but I think there's a lot of arguments on both sides that make sense. I think you could also argue one rate cut on Wednesday. You probably could have argued one just based off of economic reports and data. GDP specifically is a little bit weaker. And so, all right, look at Tesla push. So Tesla's still pushing the market higher. We're up to almost 328s for Tesla. Apple pushing up as well. It's at 201.60s. AMD's been pushing up as well. Nvidia not quite doing anything, but look at Tesla. Still pretty green on the day. Opened up at 322. It's now at 328. So still pretty green. Market open will be the high of the day. So you think we're going to get up here to 950 before opening up on the NASDAQ here? I don't know. I think that's pretty up there. But maybe. You never know. It could happen. Yeah, so now we're retracing down some here. Right, so we are continuing to test this little micro level here, but things are really stabilizing. Like we're not really going anywhere here. Like we have this 864 level. We've just been bouncing off of that over and over again. Nvidia's still trying to run, but Tesla finally pulling back. We also got to watch like Apple, I think, too. Apple's up there. High of the day on Apple's 202. It's at 201.50, so it's about 50 cents away from highs. We're just kind of going sideways right now. Market's very flat for a Monday. Look at Nvidia start to rebound back up. We'll call the triple tops a crown indicator. Yeah. Where's defense stocks? I'm assuming defense stocks are up like RTX. Yeah, they're gapping up a little bit today. They're at 147.60s for defense. The ES up here. Yeah, I'm looking at some other stuff, but I think long-term market will continue to go sideways until we get a catalyst to go upward. We got some catalysts this week. We got Jerome Powell tomorrow, and Wednesday we have GDP data Thursday, PCE inflation data Friday, jobless claims on Thursday as well, and then we got a bunch of other stuff. We got Tuesday, Wednesday, Jerome Powell testifying with Congress, the House and the Senate. Look at Nvidia push up to 143s, almost to 143s. Circle, a lot of people talked about Circle last week. If we take a look at it, I just don't know if it's going to hold. you know, but it's up a lot. I mean, you put a 15-minute chart up here. Look at Circle's gains here. It's kind of crazy. Oh, you mean for 2025? Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Honestly, we didn't get much of a reaction from the Fed meeting. Like the Fed meeting had a very muted response. Like we just didn't get much from that, to be honest. Like it was kind of boring. We didn't really get anything from it. Kind of strange. Yeah, the whole market's been a little muted. Gold and silver taking dips pre-market. I think gold and silver probably went up with uncertainty. And then everything, including oil, kind of settled down a little bit. Here's oil. So oil originally gapped up to like 78. Now it's back down to 73. So oil stabilized. And that's probably influencing thing as well. Yeah, Powell's just kind of neutral here, I would say. He's not really saying much lately. Remember, we're going to be day trading live at the opening bell today, so just be ready. NASDAQ's still pushing up. I wonder if the SPY works better. Let's see. Watching oil go down and markets go up. Yeah, so I'm looking at some of these indicators. They seem to work really well during opening periods. When the market's closed, though, they're a little... Let's see what day this was. This was Friday. Average true range with the NASDAQ daily chart's interesting. Yeah, I'm feeling much better. President's still interested in diplomatic solutions. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they are. They would prefer a diplomatic solution. I just don't know if that's going to happen. It's hard to tell. But yeah, he said he's still interested in a diplomatic solution. White House says. I'm sure All right, guys, we got 30 minutes until the market opens. 30 minutes. Let me know if you like my new camera. We did upgrade our cameras here. So you can kind of see our new upgraded camera. It's a little different than it used to be. It's widescreen, so you can kind of see my whole office here. Like, you can kind of see all of it, which is interesting. Like, check it out. Like, look at my new office here. You can kind of see, like, the books. You can kind of see everything here. People used to say this was my kitchen. So now y'all can see it's actually a library. And then, I like this because it rotates as well. So that's cool. Yeah, it's widescreen now. Yeah, I got a couple of these bowls here. I got one right there. You know, we got another one on the other side over there. Or no, yeah, we got one over there. We got another one over there. They're bulls wrestling bears is what they are. All right, so Circle's still coming down, though. Look at Circle. There you go. Looking at our poll numbers here, we did do a poll this morning. 40% think we're going to have a red week this week. 39% think we're going to have a green week. 12% think flat. Yeah, my son's into Pokemon, so he'll like do these Pokemon Lego sets or whatever and build them for me. That's what you guys see over there. That's what you guys see is just my son's stuff that he did. I'm a dad, so I got a bunch of my kids' stuff in my office. Yeah, market honestly has been pushing up though. Like, look at Nvidia climbing. We put up Tesla. Oil's sideways now. Tesla's creeping up though. It wants to get higher here. Let's see if it does. It wants to pop up. You see bond yields are down mostly today, showing a lower interest rate sentiment here. They're opening up red. They dropped a lot yesterday too. So Tesla is reacting well to the launch. Apparently Tesla's up some this morning. Is at like high 220s, right? Or high 320s. Yeah, 327 right now. Bitcoin's down a little bit over the weekend. We do have some data coming out this morning. Yeah, my camera's a little bit better. That last camera was old. I think I'm just going to keep it for a travel camera if I need to. But hey, thank you, Kay, for the donation, brother. Turtle power. Yeah, everybody hears my notification sound. All right, so look at NVIDIA. It's up to almost 143s here. I don't know whether I want to short this or not, though. mean, we're up a lot. I think eventually we got to start coming back down, but who freaking knows, man? Maybe we'll try 5 contracts here. I'm going to keep it small. I think the plan with this is just to add to it if we get into the green. If not, you know, my stop loss is going to be about 21.910 with this. And so that's what I want. I'd love to get like a 850 reward, about a 1-to-1 ratio there. And we're going to start small and add to it if we get into the green. So we'll see. A lot of it's going to depend on NVIDIA here, though. There we go. Push in here. We went into the green and then we retraced. I'm going to add another 5 contracts to this, make it 10. 10's not so big where we're going to be really upset if we lose, but it's big enough to make some money if it goes in my favor. I'm Donatello. Hey, see you, Sam. Have a good day, brother. Yeah, no, it's all good, dude. I saw the previous comment. It's all good, man. You know me, dude. Just keep it politically neutral if you can, you know. It's all love here, bro. All right, guys, we got about 25 minutes left. We're not really down too much here, but I'm not going to let it go too much longer. We've really been trending up for the last 2 hours. Not quite 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, but still. Been trending up a lot. I want to give it time to work for me, though. Yeah, I'm watching bond yields as well. I'm watching Apple a lot. Whoa. Whoa. Some type of catalyst just dropped. I'm going to take half of this off just to protect. I'll take another piece off right there just to protect. And then we'll hold maybe one. Let me see if we can figure out what's going on. Some breaking news just happened. Let's see if we can find it. NATO says allies will invest in 1,000 more tanks and armored vehicles. The new baseline will be to spend 5% GDP on defense. NATO will invest a 5-fold increase in air defenses. They said Iran must not develop nukes. wants all allies to meet 2% defense spending target this year. New baseline will be to spend 5% GDP on defense. Lagarde's also speaking. She said risk to the growth outlook remain tilted to the downside. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. All right, we cut this up a few hundred on this one on the day. It doesn't quite mean too much here yet, but I'm trying to look to make sure there's nothing else that recently breaks in terms of news. Yeah, that's what I see right now. Okay, so U.S. assesses high risk of retaliation against U.S. forces soon. That's probably what just happened. So the U.S. assesses high risk of retaliation against U.S. forces soon, still pursuing diplomatic solutions, according to two officials. Yep. Yeah, so we are dipping down some here. We've been shorting in our other account that we have open. But man, look at this turn in markets. I mean, I follow a bunch of different ones. Yeah, we've mostly been shorting this. Let's see if oil's spiking up. I'm sure oil kind of is right now. Yeah, oil's heading up. All right, 18 minutes chat. All right, so we've decreased a little bit from this. Let's see if it continues to head down. They say the retaliation could come as soon as the next day or two, one of the officials says. I don't know. All right, so look, we're popping all the way back up here. And a lot of things. Oil now decreasing some. But we have rebounded a significant amount back up. Kind of uncertainty right now. We're starting to rebound back up. Oil looks like it's going higher though, so we'll see if it continues. We got to do a couple little trades shorting this, and we made some money, but we're still watching for updates on this news. All right, so Italy says they're ready to play its part to foster peace talks. The Iranian foreign minister said, I had a good meeting with Putin and discussed in detail developments of situation in the Middle East. Definitely a little worrisome there, huh? I mean, it looks like a short, but you never know. Could just rip back up. I'm watching oil a lot as well to see what oil does. Hims lost a deal they had with Novo Nordisk. Novo Nordisk backed out of one of their partnerships this morning, and that caused Hims to drop pretty substantially. We covered that a little bit earlier, but that's what happened with Hims. Hims is all the way down under 50 now. It's at 48.40s for Hims, so still looking pretty weak. It looks like the market wants to go back up though, but oil is going higher here is the only thing. So like, look at oil rise. Yeah, no worries. Where's silver at? Yeah, look at NASDAQ right back up. Silver is basically flat on the day. All right, so we are seeing some rips up here. Let's see if there's a reason for this. NATO says whew. Man, it's looking a little scary out there, to be honest, chat. A little scary. NASDAQ ripped back up. A lot of overseas stuff going on. All right, so we recently ripped up there. We're not quite at highs on the NASDAQ. You can see stocks like NVIDIA, though, are just paused right now. I think the whole market's waiting to see if there's a retaliation, and that's kind of scary. There's gold. Watching oil. Gold's right at the previous closing price. Here's oil. Oil coming down now. So maybe stability. Something just came out. Let me see if I can figure it out. Bank of England. Their Bank of England's Bailey says on quantitative easing and tightening, the UK will keep the benefit of lower debt costs for considerably longer than other countries. We also see some updates about the see, what's interesting though is oil's coming down. Still watching like Apple. Apple's testing highs of the day at 202s. Oil still decreasing some here. All right, so the White House said the president is still interested in a diplomatic solution. This was avoidable, maybe, but yeah, Circle was coming back down earlier today. Did it rip back up? I mean, Circle mostly flat on the day, but it was at 266 earlier this morning. Look at oil though. Oil now it's slightly red on the day at 73.96. Yeah, guys, we got 9 minutes left until the market opens. 9 minutes. All right, guys, we get the opening bell in 7.5 minutes. Powell speaks tomorrow and Wednesday morning in what's called the semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress. My week it was good. I mean, I slept most of the time. I'm kind of recovering from an illness that I got last week, but I'm, you know. All right, so lab diamonds have effectively passed up real diamonds as the majority of sales. Makes sense. They're more perfect diamonds and they're cheaper. So, I mean, why would anybody buy a real diamond just to, you know? Yeah. Just seems vain to buy a real diamond. No offense. I mean, and diamonds are not like watches. Like watches generally go, or Rolexes and some other watches typically go up in value. Diamonds don't. Not usually. I mean, let me see. Yeah, the resale is often considerably lower, which is not really the same thing with like Rolexes or other stuff. Yeah, so it's not really the same thing, Lenny. So like an example like this, okay? So just to put this into perspective, right? Like Rolexes will generally go up in value. Like if 20 years ago I bought a Submariner Rolex, I am almost certain to be able to sell that Submariner Rolex today for more than I paid for it 20 years ago. Okay. Secondhand diamonds are not like that at all. Okay. It doesn't matter whether they're lab grown or whether they're real. both of them, if I buy a diamond from Zales, I don't even know where, if I buy a diamond from a diamond store and I spent $15K on it, and I try to resell that diamond in 5 years, I'm going to get way less than I would have paid for it. Way less than I would have paid for it. And that's different than a Rolex. Most Rolexes are going to go up in value, and you can resell them immediately, for similar to what you paid for them, right? There's a huge difference between that and diamonds, because diamonds just don't have the same resellability and market value that, they just don't. People want to believe they do, but they just don't. Yeah, gold's probably a better buy than all of it, Vegas, realistically. I mean, I can't guarantee anything, but gold in general is going to have a little bit more long-term, like, validated history. Gold is 20x, or gold is like 10x in the last 20 years or something crazy like that. So gold typically goes up in value no matter what as well. But, you go either way with it. But, all right, chat, we got 4 minutes left until the opening bell. 4 minutes. See what the market does at the open. I'm curious. Oil's starting to spike up a little bit on more uncertainty news. Let's see if we can cover what's going on. Somebody translate this. All right, so the chief of staff of the Iranian forces said we will take action against them proportionate to the U.S. action, end quote. Uh-oh. Everybody be safe out there. Oil's spiking up. Nvidia's dipping down pretty big. All right, chat, we got 2.5 minutes left. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out TopStep. TopStep gives you a 50K demo. They test your skill with it. You pass the test, they fund you. You fail, you only lose what you pay for it. The base one is $50 a month. If you pass it, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split. Beautiful way to learn how to day trade when most day traders lose. Something just dumped markets back down here. And again, they pay out millions, fund thousands. They give you a 50K demo. They test your skill with it. If you can make 3K in profit on that 50K demo without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions, they fund you 50K, 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K in profit and then 90% split afterwards. So it's very similar to funding your own account. If you fail, you lose $50. In the futures market, no PDT rule. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. They pay out millions and millions of dollars. They fund thousands of traders. They have some of the best rules in the game in funding, and it's the best of both worlds. Limited risk at $50 a month for the base one, $100 for the middle one, $150 a month for the top one. But if you pass it, it's very similar to funding your own account in terms of split. 90%, you get to keep your first 10K prior to that 90% once you're funded. And it just makes sense, guys. It's the best of both worlds. Limited risk, similar reward. And so if you want to check it out, I'll put the link up in chat. Not an investment professional. There's the link right there. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. We got the link up right there. I'll end up pinning it to the top of the chat if you want to check it out as well. Here you go. Big drop in the NASDAQ. I'm trying to see if there's any reason for this news. I'm gonna zoom in here, make it like this so you guys can actually see. Yeah, it could be the market on open. We don't know. We got 20 seconds left until the opening bell, chat. 20 seconds. All right, there's the bell, chat. There's the opening bell. Let's see what we get. Yeah, we got PMI data in 15 minutes. Yep. PMI data in 15 minutes. All right, look at this drop at the opening bell here. We are getting some decreases and everything at the opening bell. NVIDIA's spiking up, though, which is really interesting, which means like some other stuff are dropping here. Apple's dipping. AMD and NVIDIA are running up, though. Tesla is ripping up, too. What's dropping causing this dip? It's not Apple. Could it be Microsoft? It's Microsoft. Meta. Starting to see some ramp ups, though. Look at NVIDIA here. We're watching oil closely, too. Oil's at $74 a barrel here. Yeah, we got to wait a couple of minutes to play this. Look at this drop. Wow. Tesla's up to 334s. Apple turned down. Apple's red. Microsoft is red. Meta's red. Netflix is red. Amazon is red. Market's still turning down here. Look at this red. All right, so we had a lot of red this morning at the open. A lot of blue chips heading down here. Still a little time, though. PMI's in a couple minutes here. Hold on. All right, so still dropping here. Let's see if we get a bounce at 775. We're close enough. We're going to try to buy this dip here. I was going to buy the 775 dip, but man, we just keep pushing. We're right back down to it again. Underneath it now, so we're going to wait. Let's draw some other levels here. 750. Just a lot of red. Remember, we got manufacturing and services PMI in 10 minutes here, chat. I'll put a timer up just so we can watch it. Yeah, we got 10 minutes. Timer's right next to me. Yeah, a lot of blue chips dropped at the opening bell, to be honest. Look at oil come down a little bit here. I think we got to watch. Like, look, here's Tesla. Tesla's up 333s. I'm going to short this, I think. And maybe add to it. I just want to see if we retrace back down. We're down a little bit, but I could probably add up to 15 is what I want. Yeah, that's 17. I went a little bit too big here. That's all right. I guess I can add up to 20, make it even, so I can get out in 10 contract increments. Almost back down. I gotta cut this. We just went up too quickly. I'll switch to the other one here. We're just trading challenge accounts right now. We're very green in this one, but look at that pop back up. Still ripping back up. Look at this. Yikes. Some type of good news must have happened just now. Yeah, well, we lost one of those combine challenge accounts. That's all right. We got a lot of them. Very whippy at the opening, but we're only 6 minutes into the day. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we come back now. We got the opening bell here. We're fighting back up at a lot of stuff. So you can see Tesla up there. NVIDIA looks like it's trying. But we're going to get ready to start trading our actual funded accounts. I just want to let some of this volatility settle down here. Like mostly what we do is we trade challenge accounts at the open or prior to the opening bell. And then once the opening bell settles, we switch to our funded accounts and have pretty good results trading it that way. Nice little breakdown here. It kind of looks like a cup and handle is the only thing I'm like really worried about here. Tesla looks like it could be a flag too. Let's see. It's a little bit of turning here. Oh, wait, we're not in the right one. Here, hold on. Let me switch to my actual funded. Here's the funded. This is what we'll trade. We're in micros. Okay, good. Volatile open. Big up moves, big downward moves. Yeah, so the Armed Forces chief vows firm action after U.S. strikes. The president said, everyone keep oil prices down. I'm watching. You're playing right into the hands of the enemy. Don't do it. HIMS has stabilized a little bit. HIMS is back up to 45, 46 almost after dipping all the way down to 44 at the opening bell. I mean, it's going to be hard to keep oil down like significantly here. Let's take a look at oil after all the stuff going on. Oil's down, though. It's at $73 a barrel. Could be worse for sure after yesterday. What's the chat saying? All right, guys, we got 5 minutes until manufacturing and services PMI drops. Circle's a little crazy. I mean, it's been moving wildly for sure. So we don't ever know what's going to happen to it. We'll have to wait and see. All right, look, here's a big red candle now, man. We are kind of going back and forth here on this. Kind of at a make or break it spot now. Oil's breaking down here. This could make the market run. Let's watch it. Oil's falling down though. Oil just cracked 73.30s, under 73.50s now. Lows of the day for oil are around 73.15 or so. And oil's moving down to test it right now. Nvidia's kind of slowing down though. Tesla's at 333, so it's trying, but it looks like a buy the dip scenario, but who knows, man? Like, there's so much uncertainty now with what's going on. Don't copy me. I'm not an investment professional, of course, guys. Not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Trade smart. Can't guarantee anything. See, now we're getting pushed right back down here. Nvidia's starting to creep back up, though. That's good. Tesla is too. Apple at 201. So Apple's down a little bit on the day, but trying to fight back. We just got pushed all the way back down on the NASDAQ here. Do y'all think it's a buy the dip scenario or wait or sell? Let me know in chat right now. Buy the dip or sell? I don't know for sure. There's no PPI result, please. We have services and manufacturing data showing up in about 2 minutes, give or take about 2 minutes. So we'll see how that looks. But a minute and a half left. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure we're fully caught up on stream. It's been a volatile open. We dropped big at the opening bell. Now we're back up to 875s. All right, guys, we got about a minute left until this data comes out. About 1 minute. We did get a bounce. Yeah, we've lost a couple combine accounts, but it's all right. Like, the reality of it is that's what they're for, and I like to play them when everything else is too volatile. We haven't actually traded our funded account today. And And so again, if you want to check out Top Step, check them out. Great way to learn how to day trade. You learn in a structured environment, and if you pass it, you get a 90% split anyway, as long as you follow their rules. If you fail it, you're out $50, $100, $150 in futures. S&P, NASDAQ, very similar to day trading stocks. Check it out. You can see it pinned at the top of the chat and in the description as well. All right, guys. Hey, we got 30 seconds left. 30 seconds. Look at this dip. Wow. And then we retrace all the way back up. Weird. Weird. All right, guys. Hey, we got 20 seconds left. 20 seconds. All right, here's the timer. We got 10 seconds left. The timer's a little bit early, chat. So let's see what we get here. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. There's the time. I'm looking for the report. All right, so they're a little late on the report today. Still waiting, it looks like here. Market's actually up a little bit from this report. I'm gonna have to check different sources. A lot of stuff's down. All right, guys, so flash manufacturing showed up at 52 versus 51.1. 52 versus 51.1. Yeah. Services showed up at 53 versus 53.1. And then, yeah, June composite 52.8 versus 53. So a little bit better than expected everywhere, but it didn't really move anything. A little bit stronger than expected everywhere, but again, it didn't really move much. You know, I'm tempted to buy like one contract on this pullback. I'm going to try one micro contract here in our funded account. Let's see if we can get anything good. We might add one more to it if we get like a good reaction. There we go. Nice. There we go. We'll hold it break even now if it turns, but all right, so we got a nice little dip buy there in our funded account. We're now green on our funded account. We'll see if we continue to earn money in this. Very small green, but all right, so we got a little scalp at the bounce. See if we can buy a little pullback here or something. We hit 900s there. But again, we showed up a little bit stronger than expected everywhere, basically. I'll put this data up on screen if you want to see it, but a little bit stronger everywhere. And again, if you want to check out Top Step, beautiful way to help support the channel. No PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, gold, some currencies. Patterns are very similar to blue chip stock patterns. No PDT rule. So I think it just makes sense to learn how to trade this way. Most day traders lose. So if you fund your own account like 5, 10, 20, 30 grand, you're probably going to lose. Let's just be real here. It doesn't matter who you follow, what course you take, who your mentor is. You're still probably going to lose for at least a year plus. So you can either fund your own account and lose potentially thousands and thousands of dollars like most traders end up doing, or you can hedge using a funded account program. Top Step's the most legit. Great way to learn. Beautiful way to learn. And they pay out millions. I think it's almost 200 million now. Fund thousands. Just a beautiful way to learn. And if you use my link, go to Top Step X, you get 0 commission, no PDT rule in futures. So check it out. Here's the link. Not an investment professional, not liable if you lose. Understand all this stuff on screen. Can't guarantee anything. NASDAQ's ripping up, though. NVIDIA's trying to go green on the day here for one of the first times. Some of these are affiliates or sponsor links, so I'm biased because I get paid by them. So naturally, I'm pretty biased. But genuinely good for traders, I think. But definitely biased. I think AMD is a buy right here. I don't know, brother. Let me see. Do you? We're at 131s right now, 132s. I don't know. We're over 900s. Oil's coming down, NVIDIA's rising. So all right, if we pull back to this little 900 spot, I might buy it. Because I think I could use like a tiny risk at 90, like a 10 tick risk. We did pull back to it. I just didn't quite get a big enough position to buy it. I'll try 2 contracts here and maybe add 4. We got a little cushion. We'll give it one more second, maybe add 6. See if we pop right back up. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. I'm going to limit some of the size now. See if we can make something off of this. Right here. There we go. That's better. And we got 2 micros. Very small, but we'll let it work. I like the pullback level here. But it's also a little scary day to buy anything because of just the craziness. There we go. Nice. We'll add to this too, see if we keep pushing. It's also kind of a scary day to buy anything because of all the craziness going on in markets right now. So we might add on a retracement here. Yeah, we'll add to that and then maybe take a couple more here, see if we rip back over this level. Just all the stuff going on right now, it's a little iffy buying stuff. There we go. Nice. All right, we're out. Made a little bit from that trade, kind of adding. I wanted to buy this 900 level and we kind of got it. Yeah, most day traders lose money. I mean, this is just the truth, right? Yeah, PMI's out. I'll put it up on screen. We already covered it, but I'll put it up back up here. Hold on. Let me, I forget that I'm on StreamYard now. So here, I got you guys. Hold on. You can follow me at Beginner Trades to get all this stuff. Like, we cover all of it live as soon as it drops. So follow me at Beginner Trades on X. You'll get a breaking news as soon as it comes out every time. All right, there's the data right there. NASDAQ still ripping. Yeah, we got 2 trades on our funded account, both green. I'll take it. Green is good. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. It's at Beginner Trades. At Beginner Trades. Yeah, new home sales in 7 minutes is what we got coming out now. Or is it existing home sales? Let me see. It is existing home sales, 10 a.m. We'll cover it, but Any defense stocks? I mean, you got RTX. What is that listed on? I don't know. I'll have to go look. Looks like it's on the NASDAQ. Yeah, you got RTX, you got NOC, you got Lockheed Martin, you got TDG, you got Axon, you got Curtis Wright Corp, and more on the NASDAQ 100. So you got a bunch of them that are listed there, to be honest. Lockheed Martin and more. 5 minutes until existing home sales release. All right, guys, NVIDIA at 143.80s, 143.80s. So NVIDIA just hit that previous closing price and just turned right back down here. Let's see if we get a pullback and everything else as long as NVIDIA continues to drop. Looking at Apple here. Apple's starting to retrace back up. It broke the highs of the day right at the opening bell at 202.05. Technically, the high of the day for Apple currently. It's sitting at 201.75, but it's starting to retrace back up to that 202 level to retest that. So we watch Apple. Tesla ripping up right now. Look at Tesla fly right now, chat. So Tesla put a couple robotaxi updates. It's now at 341 as we speak here, 341. So Tesla doing some updates here. We're watching that for sure. All right, Tesla at 341s. All right, chat, 3 minutes until the existing home sales. Tesla flying up, though. Wow. NASDAQ now pulling back down to that 900 level here. Man, look at Tesla fly up here. Sheesh. All right, guys, existing home sales, 1 minute here. We got 1 minute until they drop. NASDAQ still pushing up. It bounced right at that 900 level. All right, guys, we got 30 seconds. 30 seconds until existing home sales comes out. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We do this live every weekday morning for free right here. We don't sell a course, don't sell a service, don't claim to be an expert or anything like that. All right, chat, we got 20 seconds. 20 seconds. All right, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's the report. 4.03 million, higher than expected existing home sales for May at 4.03 million versus 3.96 million expected. Stronger than expected existing home sales, 0.8% versus a minus 1.3% percentage drop. So stronger than expected. And honestly, this made the market pop up a little bit. Look at this rip. I don't know. I'm assuming this is from the existing home sales data being a little bit stronger than expected here. But who knows, man? Interesting. Look at this pop. Again, existing home sales stronger than expected at 4.03 million versus 3.96 million expected. Yeah, Tesla's flying up. It's at 344s right now. So rejected here a little bit at 950. We're starting to edge higher at 942s. Rivian popping. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and cut out of here. We got a whole bunch of stuff happening tomorrow, Chad. We got Jerome Powell speaking. We got economic reports and more tomorrow. So we have Case-Shiller house price index, more house data. We got CB Consumer Confident. We got Cleveland Fed president speaking. We got Powell testifying at 10 a.m. and more tomorrow. So be ready for tomorrow, Chad. It's past 10 a.m. now. We've already covered the opening bell. Again, if you want to day trade, check out Top Step. Beautiful way to learn how to day trade. Most day traders lose in their first few years. So if you deposit your own 5, 10, 20, 30 grand, you're probably going to lose a lot of that. Makes no sense. Instead, learn how to day trade with a funded account program like most day traders do. Top Step has some of the most legit, best rules in the game. They give you a 50K demo for the base one. It's $50 a month. If you can make 3K in profit without losing 2K first, following their rules, and that's a reasonable 3-to-2 ratio. If you follow their rules, they fund you 50K, 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K prior to that split kicking in. So it's very similar to funding your own account in terms of split. If you fail, you're out $50 a month. It's not the end of the world. Much less than most day traders end up losing, to be honest. And so it's just a great way to learn. And they pay out hundreds of millions. They fund thousands. Zero commission if you use their native platform, which is what I'm using here. No PDT in futures. You can check them out. I'll put the link up one more time. But I'm going to get out of here. I love you all. Have a great day. Be safe in the market, chat. Market's kind of crazy right now. Breaking news has been happening all morning, and we've been covering it. So subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. You can see Top Step link pinned to the top of the page. You can also see it in the chat as well, in the description as well. I mean, and so listen, I love you all. Have a great day, guys. Always remember, I can't guarantee anything. Not an investment professional. Not liable if you lose. Always make your own assessment. Trade smart. I'm biased because I get paid by them, so understand that as well. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Sometimes I trade and lose off stream, and you might not see it. Don't copy me. Look at Tesla rip, though. Tesla up to 345s. Let me know if you like this new layout better here. And again, y'all be safe. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good.